And there we go. All right. Well, I thank you guys for being here with. You can unmute now, May May. Um, and granted, I didn't mean to make it sound. I wasn't trying to make it sound as quite as direct or abrupt as Leto was. I just usually at the beginning of the streams I need to like go over because I also have the YouTube screen open as well. So I need to go mute that, so it's like not getting the double echo. So
All
that's
right,
why I need
everybody,
to.
unshut up.
I just had to mute mine as well.
Yeah. And of course, I do appreciate any and all likes and shares that can help. See if we can get some more people in here um, into this. So, um, all right. So, Solid here.
Hey,
Hey there,
Solid,
Solid.
how's it going?
We missed you, Solid.
Ooh, nice, Solid.
Hey there, hey there.
I don't think I
Hey,
ever seen
Solid. The
Solid
link, the
before.
link is in the chat if you want to join us in the studio here. I'll even put it up again just in case you want to join
We're
us
very
here.
excited to hear from you, Solid.
Yes. Hello, Solid.
If you'd like to join us, the link is in the chat. Want to join us? I'll bring it. Go ahead and bring you in. And there's Yama Agante.
Who's that?
Hello.
Hello,
He's
Yama.
another guy from Tug Stream.
Oh, Yama.
I can
Yama.
have up to 10
Yamagante.
people in here at one time. So,
Lamagante.
if you guys
I
would
like
like
that.
to join us,
Sounds
just
good.
Yeah. Sounds
Toys,
sounds
Toys, you
sounds
here?
delightful.
ATC, you here?
I'm here.
Yes.
Okay. You just decided to just go off, call off camera. Okay. All right. So, how's everybody doing tonight? We're gonna just warm up here with just talking about see how everybody's doing before we get into the conversation. Ready for this Friday? Okay.
Oh, nice.
All right. So, how's everybody doing tonight?
I'm good. Pizza's coming soon, and I'm ready for it.
I am doing very well. Apparently, I have food coming that I didn't know was coming, so we're all good.
Yeah, I
The
heard
cooler's
that. That
full of
sounds
beer.
great.
Yeah.
And then May Yamagante has got a little message for you here. You see it? Oh, she's muted. Okay.
Nice to meet
All
you,
right.
Yamagante.
It is nice to meet you, Lamagante.
Good to see you again. Alrighty then. So let's see. Just waiting on some people. See who else might show up. So, let's see. All right. So, okay. So,
It's a game.
anyway. Huh?
Oh no. Sorry, Soderethio just said something. He says, what is Mario Comeback? It's a game that I confused. It's a game that I confused Mortal Kombat with when I was a kid because I was too stupid to listen. So instead of Mortal Kombat, I just always figured they said Mario Comeback.
Hmm. And you as well. Okay.
That's pretty much it.
All right. So for those of you who are in chat, this is what's going to be going on tonight. I know it's normally Monday through Thursday. I do stream Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Monday through Thursday, we usually go through a niche newscast. With Friday being a historical comics retrospect with Backgoat as my co-host. Tonight, we're going to do something a little different than the normal niche newscast. I wanted to talk about get people just kind of a refresher on Vic's case and then we're going to be talking about cancel culture and looking at some of the roots of it. But just one of the things that I have noticed at times when people talk about it is people will say, well, reason the person person is getting canceled because they have differing political beliefs. But the thing is that a lot of times that's only a small piece of the pie. It goes to a deeper issue in terms of their ideological beliefs. So let's just see.
It's also religious beliefs.
Well, yeah, that's part of it too. That's what um, so yeah, well, the counter says we have 3 people in here, but I know that we have more than 3.
Yes, there's obviously 2 people here.
More, not less. So, oh yeah, so I know there's some private chatting going on. So let's see.
Oh, is there?
I think.
Why does that sound so familiar, Meme?
It does, doesn't it?
I've probably seen him in stream somewhere. Like on
I think it's a she, not a he.
Oh. Sorry. I'm sorry.
How dare you let her?
I didn't mean it.
Only about 3 times. Yeah.
Maya.
Maybe you can share your comments in the regular chat too, if you'd like. Okay. All right. So let's see now. We're just waiting to see if anybody else would like to join us in chat before I get started. Or in the studio here. I have put the link up for anybody else who would like to. I'll put it up again just in case.
Join us, Redfield.
Yes.
Become part of the hive.
Do come join us.
Yeah, I'm the infamous person. I'm the infamous person enough. Infamous. How are you infamous? I don't even think I even know you. I just saw you in Tug's chat. I didn't, because I don't know if I actually interacted with you before or tonight. So
I'm starting to wonder if I ever interacted with her. But I heard the voice and it sounds familiar for some reason.
Well, not enough. Laugh out loud. So let's see. Yeah, I need to speak with you on what you need to speak with who? With me or with Leto?
Oh, Leto, what'd you do?
I didn't do anything. I hope not. Jeez. I have broken a lot of hearts.
I said the reason she needs to speak with one of us on that is because you and I had just said something in each case that she may have been responding to. So, she might have been saying that in regards to me. Yeah, talking to me about Infamous. No, I don't want to bring it up on stream for any reason yet. Okay, that's fine. So, okay, let's see. All right. But anyways, we'll probably get to that later. We got 4 people in the studio here, and at least 2 more. So I think we have actually in total we have 6 people here, even though the counter says only 2 for some reason. So the counter's being screwy again.
It's always screwy these days.
I shouldn't have yawned. I'm sorry, Toys.
All right. Well, anyways, we should probably go ahead and get started then. So, just to kind of I'm going to go off camera for a quick sec. I'll be right back.
So, what are you eating, Toys? Oh, he's back.
What am I eating? Nothing yet. I'm told food was on.
All
I am
right.
now expecting a good hot meal.
Sweet.
Expecting a good hot meal. If not, I will slap my fist and be like, Mrs. Toys, do it again. And then she will beat me up,
Right.
and then I will go silent.
All right. So just for for those who may not know, so basically a couple years ago, Vic, you know, just after the premiere of the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, um, basically a bunch of people known as Kick Vic started going after Vic, trying to cancel him. You know, um, it started out with um, when Mars going kind of involved in there. They started accusing him first of being creepy, and then being a pest, and it gravitated to he's a phobe, he's transphobic, homophobic, um, anti-Semitic. Then they started going after him, saying that he would that he actually assaulted people. Even though there were no, everybody knows there were no police reports filed or anything like that. He eventually sued them for defamation. As of right now, he did lose the case, but the case is on appeal, and we're all just waiting patiently. Excuse my burp there. We're all just waiting patiently to hear back from the appeals court to see if the case is going to move forward. So that's basically where we're at with that. Now, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to read some definitions, because one of the things that whenever we talk about cancel, whether it's the Vic situation or whether it's like Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, or anything involving culture wars, or like what we saw, those of us who saw Crumby on the Knucklehead stream the other night with
Yeah, I
Quentin
saw that
Flynn.
one.
Yeah,
A bit
with
of
Quentin
it
Flynn.
towards the beginning.
Yeah. But whenever we talk about culture war and the way we talk about it, it's like, well, the reason that people are going after him is because of their political beliefs. And as I was mentioning to some of you earlier on here, that's only a small piece of the pie. It goes to a deeper issue. Oh, let me see. I know May just said something. Oh, okay. No, I already read that. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share the screen here. So we can.
Sorry.
There are some definitions I want to read off as we move this conversation forward, and I want you guys to like really listen and process what is being read, what I'm reading here. Because as we move forward, this is going to be a key part of what we're going to talk about here. So again, as I said, I just wanted to get some definitions out there first, to where we understand what we're talking about when we talk about this stuff. So politics, from the Greek word politica, affairs of the cities. So politics, because a lot of times people say, "Well, I don't like talking politics," but what are politics? Okay, so politics is a set of activities that are associated with making decisions in groups or other forms of power relations between individuals, such as the distribution of resources or status. Okay, so basically, politics it's really more the how. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
how do you believe when you elect people to represent you in government? How do you believe how do you believe they should represent you, and what in terms of the do you believe that they should tax you more or less? Do you believe that they should have that? Do you believe that the federal government should have more control of your life or your state, or do you personally, individually believe? So politics is more the how they go about it. Okay, so that's the first definition we're going to look at. The next word we're going to look at is ideology.
Doing a little stretching.
All right. Okay, so an ideology is a set of beliefs or philosophies attributed to a person or group of persons, especially as held for reasons that are not purely epistemic. Now, I looked up what that word means. That just simply means, basically your beliefs not necessarily based on like fact, um, in which practical elements are as prominent as theoretical ones. Okay. Formerly applied primarily to economic, political, or religious theories and policies, in a tradition going back to Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels. More recently used traits, or more recent use treats the term as mainly condemnatory, meaning like basically what they're saying there is like if you are far right, if you have a far right ideology, therefore you're a white supremacist. That's what
Mhm.
they mean by condemnatory. But basically, your ideology is basically it's it's your own personal value system. It's what you believe. It's basically what your own personal value system is. Okay, and the last word we're going to look up here is the word values. No, your ideology is your personal value system. So we're going to look at value, and in this case, value in terms of from an ethical standpoint here. In ethics, value denotes the degree of importance of something or action with the aim of determining what actions are best to do or what way is best to live. Normative ethics is what they call that. Or to describe the significance of different actions. Value systems are prospective and prospective beliefs. Um, they affect ethical behavior of a person or are the basis of their intentional activities. So basically, your value, as described here, your ethical value is basically what you believe right and wrong is. What you basically believe, what you believe is right and wrong in this, in any situation, any given situation, whether or not it's, should you just blindly listen and believe everything you hear, or do you at least scrutinize it a bit, versus, empirical data? So basically, as we move the conversation forward here, politics is the, how you apply, you know, your representation in a political system. Your ideology is basically your own personal set of, moral values,
Mhm.
your own belief system. And then the value itself is the actual tenets of your value system. You know, whether or not you believe like one race is superior to men or not, or I'm sorry, whether or not you believe one race or one gender or one, one being is, superior to another. That's an example of a value. Um, Another value is the weight of, of your words. So, so with that, I wanted to get, and as we discussed this, I want you guys to keep those definitions in mind and evaluate it as we go through maybe some examples of some stuff that's gone on in Vic's case and some other like cancel culture stuff that we've talked about before too. You know, um,
Yeah,
what was that, Mimi?
yeah. All of it is just ironic,
All of this is
basically.
ironic, huh?
Yeah, because the same people who were calling him predator, freak, and there was no evidence of none of that. But apparently, the same people who were calling him that, though, we find out minutes later or days later, the same thing they were accusing him, they were doing it the same way. Same thing with Rooster Teeth.
Right.
Mhm.
Hmm. Well, I mean,
And
yeah.
I'm
I
like,
mean, when
how
we look,
can you do that?
uh, what was that?
Go
I'm
on,
sorry,
go
maybe
on.
I kind of cut you off there. So, go ahead, finish your thought there.
I was saying, how can that even be possible to accuse someone of all those things? But you have two companies where half of the employees were doing much more worse what they were accusing him. With the Ryan Haywood situation, Sabat and Shamel, Mars Girl, all of that. I'm like, where's this clone world we living in?
Well, it's because part of it's because they're kind of being hypocritical. They say that they espouse certain, they espouse certain beliefs,
Uh,
but yet they turn around and they're condemning him for. When you look at if you take time to look at a lot of what Vic, what first off, what he was actually accused of, some of the stuff early, particularly early on with him being creepy because of the way he was being affectionate, as compared to what some of them have done, pretty tame.
mhm.
In other words,
Yeah.
they're saying that they're like saying that he's a sexual predator or a pest, sexual pest, or whatever, just simply because he gives a fan a hug or he may give a girl a peck on the cheek, you know.
Or a jelly
Whereas they've
bean.
done just about the same thing, you know.
It's probably because they consider uh, good emotions a negative, so they just like never had it. So they just consider it being something so taboo, and they just want to
Hmm.
Yeah.
cancel it.
hmm
Hmm.
And,
Well,
and
yeah,
I know, and I think, hold on, I want to bring this up to that too, and you too, man. Another factor to this though too, because Vic is that big around the community and he's well known and he gets all the fans, get all the press. Of course, there's going to be some jealousy towards it too, because clearly we've seen a whole lot of it in Funimation and Rooster Teeth. So the jealousy part comes into that dangerous playing game too as well.
yes. On the convention scene, Vic is probably considered one of the most popular voice actors. He makes a lot of money for a lot of conventions when he goes to them. Even despite the stuff that's gone on the last couple of years here, where you've had this cadre of people who basically tried to cancel him. You know, um, and it's kind of funny because they didn't necessarily start out saying he was a predator or he was, or making assault. It started out with smaller stuff. It starts out like, oh, he's being creepy because he's hugging people, or or he gives them a peck on the cheek. He's being creepy. Then over some things like they accuse him being anti-Semitic, which means basically against Jewish people because you know he he basically he said he made a comment that was very much taken out of context. There was a noise like in another. He was speaking in a panel. There was like a loud noise in another room, and he yells, "Oh, that sounds like a Holocaust." Had him saying that didn't necessarily mean anything about Jewish people. It was about it was very loud noise that like it's like sound if you'd said something like, oh, it sounded like they dropped a bomb in there. Does that mean that he advocates bombing people? It's like um they accused him of being homophobic or transphobic because he wouldn't sign Yaoi art, but he's clearly stated that he doesn't sign anything that's not based on the actual work.
Yeah, I find that
You know,
bull. I mean, he even had
Yeah.
that. He even had a before I even knew who Vic was. I remember seeing this one clip of this guy like in a because I was just looking up anime conventions online for some reason, I was like, who's this guy in an anime convention just backing up these gay people? And I guess there's some kind of religious group was kind of bashing this cosplayers, and he just stood up for them. And
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
know
who
the
is
video
this
you're
guy?
talking about.
Oh, I know that one too. Yeah.
And he was just backing up these cosplayers, maybe for sexual preference or maybe for whatever they're wearing. I was like, this guy seems pretty nice. I didn't even know it's Vic. And then I was also like, you don't even have to be part of like the anime community. I was into like the Star Trek. Was it continues? I watched a few
Mhm.
of those, and not even knowing that was a Vic project that he funded himself. I was like, wow. And then what was it? The whole reason I got into this was because I had just recently watched the Dragon Ball Z movie, and I just looked
Mhm.
up everything about it. I was on Twitter, commenting good things about it. I'm like, I really like this movie. It's the first anime movie that I've seen in the theaters. And then this whole Vic situation pops up when I was commenting. I was like following Monica Real and thinking everything's all well and good, and then I see all these hateful comments coming. I'm like, what the hell is going on with that? Why do people hate her so much? And then I went ahead and looked it up. I'm like, okay, um, something's wrong here, and she doesn't sound right. So I went to obviously I looked up everything I needed to know about it, kind of like the rants I go when I need to know everything about a celebrity online. So I look it
Mhm.
up, and then I came across a Nikki stream, and here I am, just
Yeah.
invested in knowing the situation. It's
Well,
crazy.
you know what's also kind of a little bit ironic. I pointed this, and I actually brought this to Flash and Tugs and a lot of their attention way back, more closer to the beginning. Okay, um, because Monica's the one who was making Monica and Jamie were the two who were making the big accusations that Vic had assaulted them in some form or another. Okay. Well, one of the things I had discovered. Now, you guys may have heard me talk about this guy before a little bit. Do you guys remember the name Illich Guardiola?
No, I
Okay,
don't.
Toyd, I don't know. Had you heard me talk about him before?
Sorry, guys. I literally just had my wife here giving me food, so
Oh,
Ooh.
okay.
I was a little distracted. So what are we talking? Who are we talking about?
Okay, so what I was talking about, because we were talking about Monica, Leto had mentioned that he was
Hmm.
following her for a while, but then he noticed how there was a lot of mean stuff going on about her, and then what I was pointing out was how Monica and Jamie were the two were really leveling the largest of the accusations against Vic, and I was just about to point out kind of an ironic twist in that because um, you I don't know. Have you heard or have you heard me talk about the voice actor by the name of Illich Guardiola?
I might have. I'm not very good remembering names. That being
Okay.
said, when you said Mars Girl and Real,
Well,
I couldn't remember their names. I could
And
remember their
Marky, Jamie, and Monica is who
yeah.
I was
I
talking
could
about
I
right
couldn't
there.
remember their actual names. The only thing that come in mind was Horse Face and Arms Girl. I was like, oh okay,
Yeah.
okay, now I know who you're talking about. All right.
Okay.
I mean,
Well,
I was so into them. I was so into them onto this whole situation. I was following them. I
mhm.
it's terrible that they
Well,
turned
I've
out
got
such
another
horrible
story about
people.
Monica. I was like you. I was following her too, but I'll talk about that in a moment here. But anyways, there was this voice actor named Illich Guardiola, right? He started out with ADV, much like Vic and Monica, and then eventually went over to Funimation. Well, Illich was the guy who back in 2014 was basically arrested for having in Texas, arrested for having a relationship with one of his students who was 16 at the time. Okay. He was arrested for having a sexual relationship with her. Okay. The two of them eventually got married with the parents' consent. The only reason he's not in jail is because they're still married, first off, but also, the mother and the daughter didn't like cooperate with the police. But basically, what I brought up to them was I had found out that Monica had actually dated Illich at one point. Now she sat there and like, well, yeah, that was back in college. You can't get me on that. You can't get me on that. That was back in college. The fact is, she's coming down on Vic, claiming he's a
I'll be right back,
sexual
guys.
predator. Huh? Did you just
Metal
say
still
something?
got there, I think.
He'll be right back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but basically, you had a situation where she had actually dated somebody who actually was arrested for for um for basically inappropriate behavior, and yet she's coming down on Vic. That's kind of hypocritical right there.
You know, Mike?
You know?
Hold on, Mike. You know, I think I might have heard that story before. I don't remember where, but that sounded familiar though. I don't know. I don't remember where I heard. Maybe I've heard it. I don't know where, but it sounded familiar though. Like I remember
Well, it
someone
happened
was
back in
talking about that.
it happened back in 2014, and I brought it up during one of Flash's streams, like way back early on when all this was happening. You
Was
know,
it 2017 you brought it up? I don't remember. I think I
no, it was
heard it from someone else. I don't remember.
okay.
But
This current situation with Vic's only been happening for the last couple of years. There
oh, I
was
know, I
another
know.
there was another story I brought up about Monica from
Sorry about that.
2017. No problem.
Welcome back.
The other story from 2017 was about Monica specifically. The thing from 2017, what that was it happened on her Facebook fan page group. You know, at the time it was known, I think, fans of Monica Real. Now it's called Realisms. But there was an incident on there back in 2017. Are you, toys? Are your kids coming in? Is Jeremiah
That wasn't
coming in?
me. That wasn't
Huh?
me.
Oh,
That one wasn't
you?
me.
Wasn't
I was
me
just
either.
I was
Well,
just if it was Ghetto finally
maybe
getting
it's
a piece
I
of
thought I
pizza.
heard kids, and then I see that she just muted herself, so maybe she had some kids coming in. But
Uh,
yeah, the other story I was going to get to here in terms of money, like so back in you guys might have heard this. I might have told you guys this before, but um, back in 2017, I guess this happened just after Anime North, where a fan who had just met Monica had gone on to her fan page on Facebook and basically was saying, you know, he was posting that he was tempted to kiss her. He didn't follow through on the impulse, mind you. He just acknowledged that, hey, I wanted to kiss her. You know, I was tempted to kiss her. He didn't, and everybody just kind of went off on him, because he admitted that he wanted to kiss her, not that he actually acted on that impulse, mind you. And they just, a couple people were standing up for the guy, but what got me and why I finally stopped following Monica was basically her response when she finally decided to respond to him. She basically told him, well, if you'd done that, then you're going to have to deal with my boyfriend. Basically making somewhat of a veiled threat to the kid. The kid didn't act on the impulse, mind you, but yet she felt that she had to respond by basically threatening him that, my boyfriend would have, gone after, and that's why that's when I finally, but that's the incident from 2017. It's not really even an incident. It's just something that happened on her Facebook page. But
I always tell like other people, I'm like, the only thing Vic is guilty of is finding Monica attractive.
Wasn't that after a night of drinking?
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. Makes more sense when you think of it that way, though.
Yeah.
Well, okay. In Monica's defense, though, she wasn't always as big as she is now. And aside from the nastiness, she's not a bad-looking woman.
Yeah, the nastiness overrides the good-looking.
Right.
Yeah.
But basically, but basically they're going after Vic just like they went after Chuck. Chuck when Chuck tried to intervene because I think it's more because they, and it's not just a political, it's not just simply the fact that, well, in Vic's case, yeah, he said he was a Trump supporter, but it wasn't just simply because he was a Trump supporter. It's because he believed in a lot of what Trump was trying to do.
I didn't even know he's a Trump supporter. Sorry, I'm eating.
Yeah. Solid. Just Ron Soy was going to try to beat Vic with a TV remote. Mm-hmm.
He was just trying to change the channel.
Huh?
I said, Ron Sawyer was just trying to change Vic's channel. Trying to reprogram him.
Put the channel back to 0.
I'm just checking the private chats here. So, May responding. Kid, my mother. Okay. Oh,
Maybe wants Solid in here too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was all asking me, well, can I come on? I told him yesterday he can. I mean, I put the link up a couple times already. If he wants on, he's more than welcome. I'll put the link up again.
You can tell when Leto gets a slice of pizza in. His avatar makes funny faces.
Maybe before I was oh wait. Okay,
Sorry.
I was looking at the YouTube screen, so it still showed that she.
Yeah, sorry.
These people think you're evil if you don't think Trump is the personification of the devil. Well, and then there's that. Well, I mean, in a way, that's true. I mean, it's kind of funny because, and that's one of the other things that I point out a lot when we talk about this stuff, though, is like, it's funny how they love calling Trump and anybody who supports him. They like calling them white supremacists. They like calling him a Nazi. They like, comparing him to Adolf Hitler. When, from an ideological standpoint, they're actually more in line with Adolf Hitler than Trump is. And we've seen it. It's called projection. We've seen it as we've been covering it over the last year or so. It's
something else I want to bring up though. The fact that they're calling him Hitler and all, I'm like, yes, I don't believe it's anything to do with him being Italian, but we know they were in the Axis post, so I don't see the correlation. So I'm like,
well, okay, the idea of calling somebody Hitler, okay, Hitler is probably considered, if not the most, one of the if he's not considered the most, he's considered one of the most evil men of the 20th century. Okay,
he and Stalin, by the way, not just him alone.
I mean, if you're comparing somebody to somebody like, as you said, like Stalin or like Hitler, but Hitler, with the concentration camps, with the gassing of the Jewish people and all that, he's basically considered. If he's not considered the most evil, he's considered one of the most evil. If he's not at the very top of the list, he's probably considered in the top 5 of most evil people in at the very least 20th century, if not all time. Okay, so when you're basically comparing somebody to Adolf Hitler, you're basically saying that you believe them to be one of the most evil people in the world.
Yeah.
Now, one other thing I want to also bring up too is because how at times the winds of change cause interesting things to happen. Because so Trump is getting all this, Trump gets all this, hate, and it's basically because, he's basically being a conservative, or he's a conservative Republican, or that's what he's identifying as right now. The reason I say right now is because I want to show you guys something else here to kind of help with this, because some of these same people who right now are 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 showing that they hate Trump, and are saying all this garbage about Trump and all that. Very likely, he may have at some points donated to them, and he was on good terms with some of these people. We've heard about this too. Okay, so let me see. All right. So I brought up the Donald Trump's Wikipedia page, because there's something here I want to show you guys, and um I kind of increase the font there so you guys can see this a bit more clearly. And I'm gonna read this off, because the thing is here, the point I'm bringing up here is that Trump, he's kind of gone back and forth between all the different parties. So according to this, from 1987 to 99, he was originally, I guess, registered as a Republican. Then in 99, he decided to switch over to the Reform Party, 1999 to 2001. Now, in case you guys don't remember what the Reform Party was, it was started by Ross Perot in the 90s. I know Jesse Ventura was also part of it. But Trump was a part of the Reform Party from 99 to 2001. Then he decided to become a Democrat from 2001 to 2009. Then he went back to being a Republican from 2009 to 2011. And then he was an independent from 2011 to 2012. And then he's been basically, according to this, been a Republican ever since 2012. So the reason I bring this up, the reason I'm bringing this up is because some of these same people who are vilifying him, who are comparing him to Adolf Hitler, who's saying he's a white supremacist, who's saying he's a sex, even trying to, if you guys remember, during the campaign, they were trying to Me Too him as well.
Oh, I
Right?
remember.
They were trying to Me Too him as well. And they had all these different people coming out of the woodwork trying to Me Too him. Okay?
Yeah, they got that whole Jeffrey Epstein thing too.
Oh,
Well, the thing is, though, Jeffrey
Mhm.
Epstein's more connected to the Clintons, but
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where it's funny, and all that stuff came out. They're like, "Well, Clinton is more into them, into Jeffrey
right.
Epstein."
I mean,
They're like, "Oh,
yeah,
let's
I
not
mean,
talk about that."
yeah,
You
I
know
mean,
what's funny? Hold on. You know what's funny about it though, Leto? One time, someone in next chat was saying, I was saying something similar to that. But what I didn't know was that yeah, of course I heard he was there on his island, but and a lot of people I've heard say, oh, he didn't help none of these people, and I don't even think he even knew at the time, or he assumed, oh, for these people, he wouldn't know. I don't know because honestly, though, because the amount of people I've heard said that, oh, he was friends with him, Epstein, and this and that. Wait, didn't he like condemn some of the stuff? I'm like, what? What?
mhm.
Like, huh?
Mhm.
Weird.
Yeah, he condemned it. They just didn't like how he condemned it. You
Yeah,
know, he did. I think kind of he condemned what happened, like at Charlottesville. He even condemned what happened during the Capitol riots. They just didn't like how he did it. You know, the fact is, some of these people probably did get money from him during their campaigns back in the 2000s there when he was a Democrat. But now he all of a sudden he's the most evil man in existence because he simply went back to being a Republican. So
hmm
okay, and Solid said here, Stalin and Mao had much higher body counts. Well, yeah, Solid, as I said, many people, granted,
the
but
point is they're evil.
Hitler, because he had the Nazi party behind him too. You know, that's why some people might consider him even more evil than the other two. You know, um, but that's a debate for another day. But basically, a lot of the reasons why they go after people like Vic, like Trump, is part of it is the politics, but at the core of it, it's the ideological values. You know, whereas most people who do tend to lean to the right tend to believe more in individuals' rights. You individually have a right to speak your mind. You individually have a right to protect yourself with a gun. You individually have a right to say no. Soldiers cannot. You cannot force soldiers to stay in my home. It's
Mhm.
my home. I
Mhm.
decide. Whereas a lot of the people on the left, they they want the government. And part of the problem too is we have a generation here that's basically been told that that all their problems are the rich people's fault or white people's fault.
Mhm.
It's like you know. I want one of a recent. It was Nick did a video. Nick Ricada did a video on Kristi Noem suing the White House over the fireworks celebration at Mount Rushmore. Okay, and in that he said something that I think was quite profound. The idea that he was getting across was with freedom comes responsibility. In other words, if you don't want the government telling you what to do, you have to take responsibility for your own behavior. Okay, so that means if you choose not to wear a mask in public and you get sick, it's nobody's fault but your own. You exercised your freedom, and that was the consequence. Um, of doing so. You know, people don't. It's like we have a whole. It seems like we have almost like a whole generation here that they want they want the freedom, but they don't want the responsibility.
Yeah.
Okay, they want the free. They want to be able to go out and do whatever they want, and if it doesn't work out for them, they want somebody else to flip the bill for them, or they want somebody else to take care of it for them instead of them taking care of it themselves.
Yeah.
You know,
The gener-
and
the,
that's
Go
one of
ahead.
those ideological differences there that's at the core of a lot of this cancel culture. It's like you know, um, where if they figure they try to shame you or try to lock you out of certain things, then you'll eventually capitulate. But that's when you got to just fight that much harder. You know, if if you don't want to wear a mask and a particular business, said, well, they don't want to do business with you if you won't wear a mask in their store. Find a store that will allow you to not wear a mask and wants your business.
Yep.
That's how you solve that problem. You know, so it's like, but a lot of what drives cancel culture is it's a power play. It's a power play because they figure through like rioting and looting and misbehaving, they'll eventually get what they want. You know,
Babies. They're giant
huh?
babies. I said they're just
Yeah.
babies,
Hmm.
pretty
Mhm.
much. And I
Mm-hmm.
find it so uh, depressing that the younger generation. I'm old, by the way. The younger generation, like every time they sign up for something, say TikTok or Facebook or Twitter, I'm very hesitant into signing anything. Um,
Hmm.
like because you're able to sign off your I guess your privacy, and they're willing to give that up immediately just for a little assurance. So
Hmm.
I mean that's why I don't like Facebook. I don't have a
Yeah.
Facebook.
Well, I think, and this is a quote that I've mentioned quite a few times over the past few years here. The quote from Benjamin Franklin: "Those who sacrifice liberty for security deserve neither and will lose both." Now, I may be paraphrasing a little bit, but you guys have heard that saying before, right? Ever heard that
Nope.
quote? You had it,
I'm not from the US, by the way.
huh?
I'm not from the US, by the way. So,
Oh,
I'm not from the U.S. either.
Ah,
well, we know Toys is from Canada. So,
it's the
um,
same thing. I'm just joking. It's not. It's not.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that.
Well, okay. I wasn't.
Us
I
poor
wasn't.
Americans
Well,
don't have Tim Hortons coffee. Got to feel bad for them all.
yeah, I forgot to mention it. Sorry.
um,
I
yeah.
forget though.
Because I think I hear your accent there, Mamie, a little bit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
what is that accent? Where's it from?
I'll tell you guys off stream. I'll tell you guys.
Okay.
From from Australia?
Let's respect her privacy. I mean, if
No,
she
it's
doesn't want
not
to give her
privacy. No. I'm going to tell you what none is fair right now because
kind of,
oh,
We're trying to
not
dox you
public.
here.
Oh Lord.
Okay, it's not in America. We figured that much.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's move
yeah.
on.
Okay.
So basically, though, what a lot of times it's at the heart of the whole cancel culture is you have a lot of these political and celebrity elites who think they know better than everybody else. Well, you should listen to us because we're on your TV, you know, every week, or
Yep.
we're in the movie theaters, or we make more money than you, so we're better than you. Okay, but that's not really how it works. That's not how America was founded. That's I know, I know, Meme and Toys are in different countries, but but you know, but as Nick pointed out, with freedom comes responsibility, and we have a whole generation that doesn't seem to want to. They want the freedom without the responsibility,
Yeah.
and that's what drives a lot of the issues there. Um, Vic. Now, anybody who's ever met Vic and gotten to know him, they know, like, I've met Vic. Okay. In fact, I even did a video where I went to, now I'd met him before. I went to, Awesome Collectibles, last year.
That's nice.
Um, yeah,
That's
but
cool.
I met him years ago. I met him back in the early 2000s at ALA. So, and he's a cool guy. He's a nice guy, and he is a devout Christian. And being so, you know, those beliefs are what guide his life. You know, um, and that's led to because you know, like I don't know how much of the Bible anybody else here has read, but there, sometimes people would point out there's a couple of contradicting points there. Like Jesus calls us to love everybody and forgive everybody of their sin. Okay, but on
Yeah.
the other hand, in the Bible, the Bible also points out in Leviticus 18:22 that for a man to lie with a man as a man lies with a woman is an abomination before the Lord. Basically, you can interpret that as now, and that's the belief he's coming from. But what I gather when you look at those two apparently contradictory statements, this is what I take from it. That yes, we are supposed to love everybody and give them the benefit of the doubt as much as possible. But you're still not supposed to condone bad behavior. And I know there are times when that can be even trickier in certain situations, like when you're talking about like a situation with certain sexual crimes involving certain demographics. It's very hard to forgive people. You don't have to condone their, as Christians, we're called to forgive them. But we're not. But just because you forgive somebody doesn't necessarily mean you forget. Doesn't mean you condone the behavior. You know, you know, forgiveness and condonement are two different things. You don't you can forgive somebody without condoning the behavior. You know, and that's where the rub can sometimes be for some people. Now, and we talked about earlier with with the video we were talking about with Vic standing up for the cosplayers. You
Yeah,
know, with those
he was showing
um
like unconditional love for people.
right,
That was
right.
nice of him.
And that's what as Christians we're called to do. Is we're
Yeah,
supposed to show. That doesn't mean that he's condoning their behavior,
yeah,
which I think is more the idea of, which I think is partly, which which is part of I think another part of the reason why he didn't want to, sign the Yowie art or the
yeah.
Now,
Oh, yeah.
I think it's better for him the way he communicated. He just doesn't sign anything that's not officially part of the show or
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if it was part of the show. He'd be like, ugh.
part of.
Right, yeah, that would be funny.
Well, what was that other show he did? Oron High School.
Yeah, or on high school too.
Yeah, he. Who did he play again? Like,
Tamaki,
oh, that's the guy with the
the
blonde hair in
Prince
the show, right?
character.
Oh,
Huh?
okay, okay.
The Prince character. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a good thing he didn't play like the twins because they always like portray the twins as being incestually homoerotic.
Are they
uh-huh.
not? I never seen Orange High School. Are they not?
I think they actually even have like
Well,
what was it
Oran
like?
High School Host Club is a reverse harem anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
So,
I was thinking like, what if he was like the twins? Because like, if he had to sign like the art for the twins, and they always draw the pictures of them being together in homoerotic situations, and a lot of the stuff is like trademarked and actually from the show. So
mhm.
that'd be a funny scenario. But luckily, he hasn't had to do that. So
Yeah.
let's see.
All right.
Anyways, go on. Sorry.
No problem. I mean, you know, I mean, we've seen it in many different forms, like from not just with Vic, but also seen it take forms and like Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
Yeah,
Right? Where
yeah.
Amber Heard and her crew is trying to get Johnny canceled, and now it looks like Johnny is starting to get some
The upper
victories
hand.
in court.
Yeah. But speaking of getting canceled, I want to bring this up. Like I've been
I'm
saying
going to be
earlier.
listening. I'm just going to go off camera for a moment, so
Yeah.
I'm you still listening.
All right. So the irony of being canceled, right? You know that someone accused me of canceling them. Like someone actually accused me of witch hunting them, bro. This is why you see when some people interact with me in certain live streams. This is some, bro. I'm telling you these people, man. These people who are into, you know, when you interact with people and you thought you could have trust them and they just
Yes.
stab you behind the back. Oh wow.
Yeah. I think I've been through that situation before.
Same thing with cancel culture. So something I want to bring up too, and I don't know if I should bring up any names, but I don't. I'm not afraid to bring up his name, really. And Mike, you might have heard about it. It happened like a few years back, a year back. So, for context for Leto and action, right? So, one time, right? Me, Tori Games, Glyph, and Roman make a server, that Umbrella Guy server, right? It was all fine and good. Everyone else, I know, Mike, I know you, Wood, and other people don't know how to use Discord. So that's the thing about it. So you don't know half the things, but I don't know what they have told you. I don't know if Glad told you anything with that incident. Has
I don't
he?
even know what. Honestly, I don't even know what you're talking about, Mimi.
All right. So basically, Tory Games, Tory Ash, and you know 2012 Jameson, right?
I don't
But
know
no,
any of these
who?
people.
Yeah. So basically, what happened in that server is that apparently someone he and she were talking, and something about inappropriately he sent her a picture of him. She sent a picture of him and this and that, and I was told to ban him by Glyph, and so I did. And weeks later, this and that, what someone was on the server wondering why are the messages chopped out, this and that, and dig deeper, and the thing goes way deep to the point where I'm like, to the point where it led to this argument because that's the time when Glyph was feeling, you know, some quote suicidal. At the time, I'm like, oh my god, don't I'm like, do not pin this on me because I wasn't the one who decided that. Oh, let's just ignore it and for it to go away because I was like, no, I wanted to get into this and see what is going on. So I found some things to the point where I'm like, how am I gonna trust you again, my guy, when you can't even tell me and show me screenshots of you and her conversation? And there was scamming taking place as well. I don't even think Todd even knows half of the information. And I don't even think he wants to know, but I'm like, you know what? One day I'm gonna say something, but I'm not saying anything. Well, I'm just dreaming of that. But and then me and Jameson were talking, and he accused me of some quote witch hunting him, saying about how he's gonna file a defamation lawsuit. I'm like, tell me where have I decided to witch hunt you? I didn't send anybody to attack you. As far as to my knowledge, I didn't say anything else. And guess what? Truthy got involved. I don't know how Truthy got involved into it. I really don't know why he got involved into it. I'm like, wait, who did Kyle was saying, wait, why should he involved in this? He's not supposed to be involved in this. It has
What
nothing to do with this.
what group
Um,
So
chat is this we're talking about? Are we talking about a
the
Discord somewhere?
cancel culture, and why you can't trust certain people.
No, no, no,
Like
no.
it
I'm just
really. Hmm?
no. Yeah, you're
okay,
mentioning you.
let me interject. Let me see if I under because I'm even having a little trouble under. Are you trying to tell us that Gelf tried to cancel you?
No. 2012, no, not cancel, but 2012 Dream is. It led to an argument with me and Glass because I told Glass that, yo, I don't trust 2012 Jameson and I would never trust him again because he refuses to show me screenshots of the conversation so I don't have to vindicate him because if you don't show me your side of the conversation, I can't trust you anymore. And then no, I don't know, he got all pissy and all of that and left the server, refuses to talk to me. He in a room. I'm like, you know what? Let me just ignore these two. That's why I have not been talking to him because to the point where I am an individual, I know for a fact that yes, I have my problems. We all have our problems. But when you tell people about when you tell people in chat or people privately in other servers about something that isn't true, and when they see my name or something, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to even bother talking to him. I'm like, let him come around. I'm not gonna even bother. So yeah, so I think I can take from it is that we all have to be careful of who we trust, who can call us
Mhm.
some quote friends because Vic himself thought that. All those people who were canceling were his friends.
Hmm.
Johnny as well. So,
Well,
and I'm
as
like,
far
bro,
as I know, Johnny is still is Vic's friend. As far as I know, because I even looked up some of the stuff recently. I don't think he said anything negative about Vic
oh
or
wait, they're friends?
any. They're still friends, as far as I know.
I didn't
In
know
fact,
that.
if you're talking about the situation where they brought Johnny in to replace him as Broly, Vic was cool with that. You know, Johnny is never. You're talking about Johnny Young Bosch, right?
I hope
No,
you're
no,
not
no,
talking
no.
about Johnny Depp, because obviously Johnny
Oh,
Depp doesn't
because
know Vic.
I was confused. I thought it was Depp you were talking about. Depp,
Oh no, we're okay.
right? Oh wow.
I think we're all confused here. I think your accents make it a little harder for me to understand what you're
Alright.
saying. That's why I was like down like this trying to hear you, but I'm trying to make heads or tails of what you're saying there.
Oh,
I think we're all a little confused now.
I think she's. Oh,
I'll
wait,
tell you.
wait.
I'll tell you more in detail after this. I'll tell you more in detail. I just gave you some
I think.
rundown.
Wait. Let me try to repeat what she's trying to say. I think she's in a group chat somewhere where it's
Not really a
pretty.
group chat. It was supposed to be a fan server dedicated to that umbrella guy, Tug.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
I
but
need
it's
to let it in drama. I'll tell you guys
okay.
off stream because trust me, something I wanted to talk to you about, Mike, but never got the chance. Sorry for
Okay, okay.
yeah,
Yeah, this seems more personal. So let's keep
not
it
really
private.
Okay,
personal though, but something
well,
much more that needs to be
okay. If
on.
May
Okay.
Maybe if
Yeah,
there's some personal stuff you want to talk about or some things that you feel that you can't share here, I'll be glad. You know, when we're done with the stream, I'll be glad to sit here with you for a little while and we can talk. Get to know each other a little bit more. Obviously,
it's not
um,
really personal though. I just wanted to make you aware because the time when I was told that he was supposed to talk, Backgold was saying the time Glut was supposed to talk with you on stream about his mental health and all of that. The time when he was going ham in Tug's chat, just mental. I'm like, bro, what are you doing in this chat, bro? What are you doing this? I'm like, jeez. I'm like, I thought I could trust people, and I thought I could, and here I thought I could trust Truth as well. Thought I could
hmm,
trust people, but apparently not.
Mm,
okay.
Can't trust
yeah.
nobody in the industry. Trust me.
Mm,
Well, I always try to be honest and open. I mean, if anything, I'm honest and open almost to a fault. Part of that's because I have autism, of course, but but aside from that, it's like, um,
Yeah.
yeah. But you just said that you were hoping that Batgoat would actually talk to me on a stream
No, no, no.
about
That was a year ago.
a year
yeah.
ago.
Because yeah, that was in 2020. I don't even know if he even talked to you about like talk to Clef you because I don't remember. I emailed the two of us exchanged emails to talk and he was saying something about coming onto your stream to talk one time. That was back in
Uh,
2020.
he does it every Friday. He comes here. Back up.
Yeah. Yes. I
Batgoat's
don't know.
usually here. Usually would be here by now tonight. I don't know why he's not here. He's usually here, every night with us. Sometimes on Wednesdays he's a little late because he does trivia. But
Yeah.
you know, actually
But
Woody's not here either. That's another surprise.
Actually, Woody is in here. I've seen him take down some messages earlier.
morning, Wood.
Oh,
Oh Lord.
Morning, Wood.
Got him.
Wow. But
All right.
not to derail the thing, Mike, but yeah, it's true though. It's just I feel bad for Vic though because from the time when I remember hearing about the case, I'm like, yep, good thing I stopped watching dub because glad I got used to the sub by now because I'm like, nah, fam, that's a good thing because these people accused him of everything, and then you hear about Shemel, you hear about Sabbath, you hear about Freya, Mars Girl, Soye. The voice actor for Hercule, and also Arnold.
Chris Rager, the
Yeah,
guy
Rhaegar.
who voiced Rager.
Yeah,
Wait,
Rhaegar.
okay. I thought it was Chris Sabat who did Hercule.
No,
No,
it's
no.
Chris Rager.
What?
There's
Okay.
there's a few Chris's who work for Funimation. There's Chris Sabat, there's Chris Rager, there's also Chris Ayers. So there's a
Okay.
few.
Oh yeah, ears.
Well, okay,
Ears. I don't know.
Chris Ayers isn't in, Chris Ayers is not involved in any of this stuff though.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know that. I know that. I hear he had a kidney problem. I don't remember. It
Yeah.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a kidney problem. Yeah.
Chris,
yeah.
is that the Frieza voice?
Yeah, yeah.
At one point he was the Frieza voice. He's also the older brother of Greg Ayers, who's another
Oh,
voice actor.
oh, but
Greg Ayers,
okay,
yeah,
go ahead.
Greg Ayers. Let's see, Greg Ayers. Let's see, who would you guys know? Well, Greg, we were talking about the Twincest characters, right? Greg played one of those along with Todd,
Oh, okay.
Havercorn and Greg Ayers,
Oh, you
who are the
thought?
two voices of the Twincest.
There's
When
another
he
one,
was
Todd
Calric.
Havercorn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he's not problematic, is he? I don't think he is, though.
No, I
No.
think he still gets work though.
Yeah, working for Watch Mojo.
Todd gets more of his work now out here in L.A.
Oh,
Out in
where?
SoCal.
Really?
Yeah. He's I think more here. Okay, well,
Oh,
anonymity just
Anon.
joined us, and hey, just got home, going to grab a
Hey,
bite and
Anon.
listen in.
Yeah.
So,
Hey there, Anon.
evening, everyone.
Hope you're having a great night.
Yeah,
I'm
Anon.
having a good night too, Anon.
I hope your happiness for all night.
Yeah.
Nick's stream is supposed to be interesting tonight, though.
What? I thought he was canceling it.
Wait, he's not having a stream? What
Yeah.
he was? It's Monday night.
Like 3
Something came
3
up?
hours ago. 3 hours ago, he said he's not posting.
Oh, something must be going. Some personal stuff. I don't know.
Probably. So we were talking about cancel culture, right? And you
Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
And then the last thing Mike Walters, who I was mentioning, was Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. And then we got off
And
the
then that's
rail.
when we kind of got off the sidetrack there and trying to figure out what
Yeah,
Amy was saying.
sorry.
But-
I'm sorry. I'm like that sometimes. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, the
No,
point
it's
I was
perfectly
making with
fine.
that, though, is a lot of people tried to cancel Johnny, but now he's getting some court cases. But again, it's one of those things where, and this is why Hollywood is going down here. This is why the comics industry is going down here, because they're adopting this kind of elitist woke attitude and just trying to tell people they're trying to preach to people instead of just entertain them.
What
And
in
that's
the get. Don't want you in here. Get. Don't want
What
you
was
here.
that? I hope she's talking to like a cat or something.
Sorry,
Or-
no, it's a lizard. I'm sorry. It was just
A lizard.
it was a dog. You have a dog?
no, a
Lizard.
lizard. One of the night lizards.
A
The
night lizard?
terrorizers. Yes.
A night
We call him
lizard?
croak. Yeah, we call him croaking lizard because they croak. Those are the ones that croak in the night. Trust me, you get used to it here.
Oh, I have a weird thing about lizards. I hate fucking lizards. I hate little tiny lizards. So, yeah.
Same thing like Amber Heard. She's a damn lizard.
Oh, yeah, she is. She also poops on the bed.
Oh, I still can't believe who does that. The work culture loves. Oh yeah. Yo, good. Yeah, Amber, good. Mike, guys, you know what's the worst thing? The
Go
worst
ahead.
thing that's happening to YouTube now? Hollywood coming to YouTube. I was like, wow. Oh no, because remember though, to YouTube and Twitch, because remember Jimmy Kimmel was having a Among Us stream on Twitch. I was like, we
that's cringe.
escape TV from you, and now TV's coming to YouTube. Might as well just go and watch TV back, because I was watching TV this Saturday. Saturday gone. I was watching History Channel. Just watching like Skinwalker Ranch, and I'm like, I don't care what people say about TV and all. I'm just watching
Well,
all this stuff.
yeah,
What kind
quite
of ranch?
honestly, I
Is
don't
that
watch
Ram
much
Ranch? Did I
TV
hear Ram Ranch?
myself. I watch more stuff on the internet myself.
Mhm.
I'll watch some like nostalgia stuff like Me TV and Antenna TV stuff like that on regular TV, or I may turn on Newsmax if I'm in a mood to listen to news. But aside from that, and aside from Toonami, of course, on Saturday nights, I don't really watch much
Oh yeah.
TV anymore. So
I, ex-
I
I,
watch
w-
more
I
stuff
go to watch
online here.
TV to escape them. The irony is that I watch TV to escape them.
Well,
That is
if
true.
you're into class, well, okay, well, you're not even in the states here, so this wouldn't be. But I think Leto's the only one who this would benefit what I'm about to say here.
Go ahead.
And I've mentioned this before. Me TV has a segment in the mornings at 7 a.m. 6 Central called "Tune Into Me," a program that just has like um, basically it's kind of like set up like an old children's show where they have cartoon like they have Warner Brother like this week in fact I even reported on this because um
I remember that.
yeah this week they're doing a Bugs Bunny tribute this week, so
But I wouldn't benefit from it because I don't watch TV. Mhm.
so
It's but yeah, she makes a great point about like yeah, just escaping TV and then we're seeing the same thing on our internet. We don't want that garbage here.
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But it's the yeah. Well, what else are you guys going to talk about?
To be honest, I don't think Hollywood would be able to compete with regular YouTubers because,
That's why.
like,
That's why. This is why they're removing every chance. Remember though, Susan gave herself an award, free speech, and they removed 900. Was it what 900 or 500 plus videos and channels? I'm like, bruh.
I
If that isn't a pat on the back, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, they. That's true.
know
That
about I know
yeah,
about YouTube channel snapping subscribers and channels out of thin air. Holy heck!
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, well,
What's
I
that
mean,
over at?
we've been talking about it a lot over what last couple months here where they'll even take viewers from you apparently
Yeah.
because like I'm very sure all of you have a YouTube screen on as well as being in the StreamYard here. So there's
Yep.
at least four of us here,
Mm-hmm.
and then Anonymity, Solid,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if Yama's still here, but there's at least six of us here, seven, but yet the counter still says three.
yeah. They're
Won't seem to
probably
go higher than four. And
Yeah,
I
the
know
count the
I've heard
contest
Leto,
is
you've had some of the same
saying
issues
three.
too on your streams too, right?
they're probably just redirecting those numbers to some shitty stream.
Yeah.
Well, from
And
what
bro,
I've
I got
Some
heard,
92
YouTuber
subs.
losing
if we can get
it.
like 10 people in here, throughout the thing, then that might help neutralize that a bit. Now we're
Yeah,
up
bring
back.
those shitty
Yeah.
numbers here.
Bro, I got 92 subs on my channel now, and I'm like, bro, I'm this close to going to 100 subscribers. Bro, you know how long I've waited to get to 100 subscribers since 2014?
Wow.
92 subs to. Yeah,
Well,
I don't know
well,
how.
I've had a YouTube account since 2013, albeit I didn't start uploading videos until 2019 when all the Vic stuff was going down. Um, I didn't, of course, have a whole lot of. I got most of my subscribers in the last couple of years here because like in those 2 years, I have now. I'm finally up to 120. So um,
Yeah.
and I've had like in the last week here, of course, I've had quite a bit because I was I was at 112, then went down to 110, then I went back up to 112, then it went up to 115, 116, 118, and now 120. So this is the highest number I've ever had. So this is what anonymity has.
Congratulations.
Huh?
No, I said congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Look, okay, now
Yeah, that's true.
anonymity has something to say here. Look at the YouTubers getting censored while trash news gets promoted on the front page. Big tech is a joke.
It sure
Yep.
is, Anon.
and they hide behind the fact. The problem is they hide behind the fact that they're a private company. They're not a government entity, so they unfortunately can get away with a little bit more because they're a private company. So it's a lot harder to sue them, and that's why they need to revoke Section 230. So YouTube deleted my old account because I agreed with conservative viewpoints on Tim Pool's channels.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, big
That
oof.
tracks.
Yeah.
I try to watch his
You,
channel,
bro,
Temple. I
you
just
wanna?
can't get into it.
Yeah, I can't even get into
Simple,
that
yeah.
either.
Maybe it's the beanie.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't
Or
want to see what's
maybe
under the
it's just
beanie.
how he talks or how he behaves. I don't know, but I feel as if because Ripper has been on his stream once or twice, and sometimes Ripper talks about, yeah. Sometimes he doesn't agree with Tim's views and all of that. Like a lot of people in the sphere don't agree with Tim's views.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
Uh, yeah.
So Anonymity says Tim pisses me off so much, but he does great coverage.
Somewhat. I don't know.
uh,
I haven't
uh,
watched him so much.
I just don't. It's not about his coverage is pretty spot on, but I just don't like his face. If that's a thing, he's a
Wow.
perfect. His news is great. It's spot on. It's the facts, but I just don't like his face. That's all. That's all it is for me. And I.
Yeah.
uh, anyways, I'm sorry. That's
Yeah,
completely
and
off
like
topic.
how one like earlier in talk stream and all that, like this guy HN keeps sending hate on me because I'm like, my guy, why are you trying to send hate towards me? Keep sending those hate because I'm gonna ignore or I'm gonna clap back with
Mm.
hate as well. And he's saying about, oh, this and that, about how Crash, Crash saying I'm an SJW. I'm like, yes, to that somewhat of a semi SJW, but I'm not. I mean, the guy is accusing me of saying, oh, saying this about how I watch Tom and Flash and how they say offensive shit and I do this and that, and I'm like, offensive. I'm like, bro, I make edgy jokes like half the times, and I agree with Tug as well. There are certain jokes you can make and certain ones that just crosses the line completely. I agree with that.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, I'll tell you because I've told everybody else this. Like, even though we're as we do tend to be more free speech, there are still some terms I would prefer like people not use, right? Like for
Yeah.
me, being somebody who is developmentally disabled, I do not like the way most people use the word retard. You
Ah.
know, to me, that's kind of the equivalent of like the N word or the K word or what have you. I prefer people. I mean, I know, and when I've mentioned that, some people have called me being an SJW. You know,
I can't tell
but
you when last I used that word. I use that word like half the time. You know how many words, you know how many times I've heard that said to me? I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna say it back to you. Same way. I ain't different
mhm.
from you.
Well, if you notice, I'm more formal in my speech too. I don't really sit. I mean, I can also throw in a few zingers too, just like anybody. Like one of the zingers I recently more came up with to describe the fools on Twitter, twidiots.
Twidiots. I like that. It's nice.
It's
Yeah.
a portmanteau of Twitter idiots, basically.
Yeah.
What are
And
you? One of
also
you guys? Go ahead.
yeah, so all right, so let me finish what we're saying. Who looks different? What the hell? So
Anonymity
all right,
said
like
somebody looks totally different, and then
yeah.
um, he takes the beanie off, and suddenly I'm getting flashback being
Oh,
at the airport.
oh, So like
I
going
wonder
back
if
to
that's a reference to DC Douglas, maybe.
so
Is
going
that
back
a
to what
reference to DC Douglas and his propensity for going into women's bathrooms?
wait, who is that?
DC Douglas was another actor, voice actor. He was another guy who was coming out and just jumping on Vic, and then it was discovered at some point that he actually, he thought it'd be funny to sneak into a women's bathroom and start taking pictures while I was in there.
Oh, I heard of that. I think Nick brought him up, or was it Talk? I don't remember. I
I don't
remember
know if he
hearing
was
of it.
actually. I think he was eventually brought up on charges, but I don't know if anything really came of it because it happened so long ago.
Yeah, I
You
remember
know.
hearing that. That sounds familiar. I think Nick brought that up.
Well, Todd talked about it. In fact, I actually remember. I actually remember there was one stream that when Tug was doing it where he actually called the airport that happened because I think it happened in an airport. I think in Denver or something like that. Tug during one of his streams, I think, actually called the airport and asked them about that.
That's good reporting.
Yeah, so I mean,
I
yeah, and
don't know that
they
one.
said, yeah, well, yeah, that we don't condone that. Basically said so. I'll never tell.
Also,
You'll
too, yeah.
have to just scroll up.
Ooh.
DC Douglas is a scumbag who hides behind the SJW mantra, and like most of those dudes, they're hiding and pointing the finger, diverting attention to other people. There's a word for that. You guys know what the word is, right?
Deflecting?
Projecting.
Oh,
Projecting.
projecting. Oh, like
Projecting. They're projecting their behavior onto other people.
Hmm.
I would really like to debate that HN guy because he was saying to me about how I was trying to get him banned, and I told him, yeah, I was trying to get you banned because you were talking mad shit to someone on stream, and I'm
Who
like,
who do who do you want to debate?
no. It was this HN guy with no profile picture. I was roasting, saying, look at you coming talking to me with no profile picture. This guy, the guy who keep hitting on me for
Uh,
some odd reason in the chat. I'm saying keep giving me that hate.
yeah.
Keep sending me that
Well,
hate. I can continue.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
How are you guys
that's
doing?
all.
Because right now we're getting close to the hour and a half mark. So how are you guys doing?
I'm good.
So far, so good. I don't want to eat another pizza though. I mean, like,
Oh,
I said I don't want to eat it, but I want to eat it. But I don't want to eat it in front of you guys.
Uh, we've been watching
yeah,
your
I'm
avatar
good.
make weird faces like the entire time every time you put one in your mouth, you're just like, ugh.
Oh,
Yeah.
he been enjoying it.
Hmm. All right. Let's see. But yeah, Mike, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them.
Yeah, I mean the thing. My biggest point in all this was that just reminding everybody that the politics side of it is only a portion of it. It's more of a deeper ideological
Yeah.
issue that's driving a lot of the cancel culture. It's a power play. They go after people like Vic because they don't agree with them ideologically. You know, they want more government involvement. They want more interventionists. Um, but that's basically the point. Because every time when we talk about like the situation with Vic or any kind of like cancel culture, always goes back, well, the people are being targeted because of their political beliefs. But it's not their political beliefs, it's their ideological beliefs. It's their ideological values. It's like they don't, you know, they don't like Christians because Christians have a different values that they feel are that people who are not Christian feel are hateful when it's, but
But
that's
yeah, I see what you mean. Because like Vic apparently is a pro-Trump supporter. He also very religious, and then he's caught up in this Me Too situation. So now people are just taking sides, and it seems like we're taking a side. So they're categorizing us on one little section.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
we're in the
I understand.
background just
Now,
watching this
granted,
madness.
we may a lot of us who do support Vic probably do share a lot in common with him, value in terms of our outlook and our ideological values, and that's probably part of what makes the appeal to
Mhm.
want to be around him is that um, I mean, obviously here, those of us who are here right now, we get along because we have now we may not agree on everything, we may not agree on every issue,
Hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
our like in our little group here, we may share a lot of same ideological values. We may share, now there may be some differences here and there, but we can at least be adult enough to get past that and not let one or two little differences spoil the whole thing.
True,
Um,
true, true.
Hmm.
um, but the thing is, the reason part of the reason they were trying to cancel Vic, part of it is the jealousy, but part of it was also because he didn't fit into their narrative. And
True.
and the thing is part of the thing with cancel culture is they figure they can silence you, they can control, they can get you to back down, and they'll just keep throwing out little darts. They'll keep throwing out little darts, and
Mm.
we saw this. We saw a lot of the evidence. You know, I mean, let me go over some of the evidence here that they claimed. Let's look at Jamie's story because I've talked a lot about that. You guys have heard me talk about this. So Jamie accused Vic from back in 2011 that in a lobby area he supposedly grabbed her by the hair and whispered something in her ear. Okay,
Why does that sound like something Ron would do or Sabat? Why does it sound
Right?
like it's something they would do?
Yeah.
well, yeah, but
That would
here,
sound very out of
but
character
you
for
see,
Vic.
for me, I almost instantly hit X to doubt on that because here's the thing: she's saying it happened in a lobby area, okay, in the
Mhm.
lobby area, which is now granted, just because like none of us could just simply go in and just enter right into a lobby area like that doesn't mean that you know because in a lobby area, even if it's like later in the day, there's got to be at least one or two
Yeah,
other people. There's got to be like a receptionist there. There's got to be a security guard there, and maybe there's even some security cameras there. If this really happened, it would not have taken them 10 years for it to come out, or 8 or 9 years at the time it did come out. You know, it would not have taken that
It has.
long because
yeah.
somebody would have been able to confirm if that did happen.
And
There's
there's
no
always
way.
that one person who's videoing stuff. You always have that one person that happens to video that. There's always that one person you find that has a
I, I
videos
got a
of certain
I got a
events.
question. I got a question. Or I got a whatever happened. There's like a scenario where Vic ended up. I guess like uh, I don't know if she was like a producer or in the voice actress, but he ended up kissing her, and she said, "Lock the door, we'll kiss" or something, right? And they ended up.
Oh, I
Well, I
heard that
don't know
one.
if he said locked. There was one of the things they claimed was about Vic being a predator or pest was there was a consensual kiss with one of the
Yeah,
employees where
consensual,
it was consensual. It was nothing really came of it. It's one of those things where you
but they
know
but they reported it
yeah, we
on there.
kissed, and then that was it. They just kissed. They realized, okay, yeah, we don't, maybe we're not going to get together, whatever. This and next, and then they just went on their own ways. There was no animus there. There was nothing there. It was just they just said, hey, let's just kiss. There's like,
Yeah, but
but
the Funimation, the HR, I guess whoever's working HR, they put that in the. That was one of the three things. There was the jelly bean. It was that scenario, and the other thing, I forgot what
And
it was.
Jelly Bean was a stupid thing. That was stupid.
But
Okay.
I find it unbelievable that they added him and that consensual kiss. I'm like, why did they put that in there?
And was it at work, or was it like they just went on a date type thing?
I think it was at work. Maybe that's why they put it on the HR, because they shouldn't have done it at work.
They're just fluffing
because it happened on the premises. It's like,
okay.
Well, okay. There's some discussion of whether or not did it happen on the premises. Did it like what? There was another incident that supposedly happened off premises, and they couldn't really do anything about it. You know, it wasn't but
Ain't nothing like that joke.
But the thing
I
is,
have the feeling that they would have set him up to do that, though. So to do that and then go back and say that, oh, he tried to kiss me forcefully and this and that, because you have people like that.
Well, again, I think what it comes down to is like because they were critical, like Vic. Like another point they make is Vic was one of the guys. Vic was the guy who actually started the whole charging for autographs at conventions. You know, initially when he did that, they were all. And here's another point of hypocrisy right here. When he started doing that, they were all over him like, well, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't, that's not right. And now they're all doing it too. So, but I mean, they look at him. It's kind of funny if they were so bothered by some of this behavior. Now they claim they did report at least a concept, but nobody made any reports. Like when Monica made her statement, she didn't file a police report and document it, nor did Jamie. Like so supposedly when it happened, they didn't have an issue with it, but all of a sudden they have an issue with it. Yep. How much sense does that make? Now, Grant, I've heard of the old saying, "Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned."
Yeah, but he shouldn't have made so much money,
or been so popular.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been so popular.
The funny thing is, Monica was pretty popular too in her own right. Monica was pretty well known up there too. So it wasn't like that she had any reason to be jealous of Vic. He may have been more popular and more successful than she was.
I knew Monica more so than Vic, and then that's how I found out about the situation. And then I pretty much I called bullshit on her, and then just moved on to this fucking scenario.
A lot of people have, because now I don't know. Now another theory I could throw out there is maybe somehow Ron had a negative influence on her, because I've also met Monica before, and Grant, I met her back in like 2009, 2010, and she seemed like a pretty nice lady. I mean, you would have never thought she would have pulled the stuff she's pulling here. Okay. But the only reason I wouldn't now think that Ron had anything to do with her, with influencing her, because of what happened, as I said, what I told you guys about what happened after Anime North back in 2017. So
I feel that the both of them are gaslighters, because the fact of the joke of that he's being a wife beater and all that, and I'm hearing it's not really a joke though. It's like an actual thing he did. So I'm like, you shouldn't be talking about him being a creep and all that when you're the one who's been simping over for Monica for how many years? How many years he's been simping for her?
Well, and
I don't know the full context of that.
She's behaved and she's done some of the same things Vic whereas for hugging fans, for giving them pecks on the cheek, she's done some of the same things, and we've seen pictures of that. We also, I don't know if you guys remember, there was that one thing we saw where she literally had a fan paddle her. You guys remember that one?
I don't know that picture.
A power what?
Okay, at a convention one year. I guess they were doing. She was supposedly doing it for charity or something like that. But she had one of her female fans paddle her.
Ew.
Was
You would,
take like a paddle, take like a paddle or like a wood paddle,
yeah,
like
I know
spank
what you
her on the
mean. Yeah,
butt.
yeah, yeah.
Oof.
Okay,
In public?
this is at a
Okay.
convention. I mean, it wasn't a bare butt. I mean, she
Oh,
had
okay.
she didn't like pull down her pants or anything, but she basically had somebody spank her in public. Now, from what I understand, it was for a charity or something like a charity event, but
Hypocrisy.
yeah, I mean, anyways, yeah, we're now an hour and 40, and I'm starting to run out of steam a little bit here. I think I pretty much exhausted what I was going to say, and it would just be me repeating it.
Yeah. You
So,
repeat. Plus, you're repeating it to a bunch of dummies. So.
Wow.
like I was saying, I saw my wife slightly drunk watching TV, yelling, "Don't go in, don't go into the church, you moron!" She was watching our wedding video.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm reading a horror novel in Braille, and something terrible is about to happen. I can feel it. It's supposed to say can't. No, Solid.
Well, get in here, Solid, and give us some fresh blood.
Yeah, come on, Solid.
Yeah.
Solid.
For anybody who would like to join, I'll put the link up one more time for anybody who would like to try to join in.
At this point in time in the stream, it's not even a Vic stream. It's just us chatting together.
Yeah.
We'll just give it a hangout.
It's just a hangout at this point.
Yeah. I'm cool with it. Yeah. My cooler's almost empty. I might need to go get some more.
Lucky.
So let's see if anybody else would like to join. I can have up to 10 people in here. So
just get everybody in here.
Yeah.
All the chats join us. All the chats.
Well, I would like that, but they've got to come in. They got to want to come in too. I mean, I'd like to. It might be interesting to have more people in here, but
enthrall us with stories of your wrestling, of the wrestling stuff.
Well, is Woody here? Because I haven't seen any of his comments.
Yeah. I seen a message or two get deleted at some point, and I seen that Woody deleted it, and so I was like, oh.
Well, you actually saw Woody in here though, because I haven't seen.
I seen that Ahmad deleted something earlier in chat.
I call
towards the beginning. Yeah. Message deleted by Woody. Yeah, right up there. I don't have my timestamps on. I'll turn that on right now.
Message retracted. Well, I know Solid had a message retracted apparently.
There he goes, right there. There he goes. Hello, Woody. Morning, Woody.
Oh.
Woody.
Did he just pop in?
Yeah, he's right there.
Oh.
Quick, catch it before he deletes it.
I'm lurking. Okay. Oh, he's lurking tonight.
Oh, he's busy with a girlfriend. Invite her into the chat too, Woody.
Ooh. Nice.
All right. I guess May had to go off for a sec.
Yeah. Go break her back like Anon.
Out of there. Oh gosh. Get him.
Get him.
I do remember Solid saying that he wanted to join in. I think that was on Leto's stream. He said he would like to join tonight.
I remember that too.
Yeah, Leto's stream is not canon to anything, so it does not hold truth.
Oh yes, it does.
I mean, I remember him saying, "Well, can I come in?" I told him, "Yeah," and you've noticed I put the link up a few times already, and yet he hasn't joined us.
That's fine. He doesn't need to join us.
Yeah, he doesn't. I mean, it's his choice. So
I'm just
maybe
glad
It's
that
back
the,
with
weird.
us then.
Yeah. It's weird that I don't see Glyph in this because if he decides to come in the chat, I either would have to leave or I would have to leave because I know Papa he's gonna do some complaining and this and that. I'm not gonna.
Okay,
I'm not
you
gonna
keep
bring up
saying
anything.
Glenn. Do you mean Gel? You talking about the guy from Australia?
That I call him Glyph because I choose to.
Okay.
I know it's
Okay, so you're
Glyph.
talking basically about
Gelf.
well, Gelf. I made Gelf a mod a long. Gelf came on
Oh, I know.
before I started doing this regularly, so he's also one of my mods, but he hasn't been on in a long time. But I've been told he's been having some personal issues as well over the last few months or year or so. So, um,
Yeah, I haven't talked to him since because the reasons,
hmm
and I
okay.
don't know. He refuses to talk to me, so you know, I follow advice from people. Don't If people don't want to talk, don't chase after them.
yeah,
If
it's
they're
kind of
gonna
funny.
want to talk,
Friday,
they'll come back.
yeah. The funny thing is, Friday when I went over to check out Tug's stream, Gelf is all like, Gelf is all chatting with me, going, "Hey, go get back, go get back, go." It's like, and of course, so yeah. So I think I pretty much have said everything that I
Yeah.
was thinking I would have ended up saying more, but
Yeah,
basically, I think everybody understands the point I was making. So,
yeah.
um, let's see.
Yeah.
Um, I think it'd be we're at the hour and 46 minute mark. I think it'll be a good time to start wrapping up. May, if you'd like to stick around after the stream, you and I can talk a
Sure.
bit. Kind of like you can tell me whatever you want to tell me. We can get to know each other a little bit. Um, so at this point, when we start winding down the stream, this is what I ask, and Toys and Leto know this. Are you guys for? Are you guys ready for this day in each history?
I'm ready.
Yes, we're ready. And the crowd goes out.
Okay. Now, May, just so you understand, this is another segment I do as part of my streams. As I told you earlier, we do talk a bit about like niche news and stuff, and I have a segment I call "This Day in Niche History," which is what we do is go back and take a look back at niche issues of the past, obviously, and
Is this
then of
something I
course,
have to mute for?
huh?
Is this something I have to mute for,
That's a good one,
just in
Toys.
case I said something?
Well, yeah. Well, this is niche day. In other words, this is stuff that happened like in the past.
Ah, okay.
Uh, oh, um, Leto,
What the
solid has a
what?
question for you here.
Oh, Sada Retio says, so are you going to play the rest of the Yakuza games? Eventually. Eventually, once,
Someday.
someday. No
All right.
promises.
So let me just one more time
You got a
review
little
here.
promise there, solid.
All right. So, anyways, now, so today being Monday, May 3rd, 2021, let's take a look back at this day in niche history. Seeing, and first off, we're going to head back 30 years ago today. As on this date, 30 years ago today, the American Wrestling Association, also known as the AWA, held its final event in Bloomington, Minnesota. In the show's main event, you saw Greg Gagne and Wahoo McDaniel defeat the Destruction Crew, a tag team known as Wayne Bloom, tag team comprised of Wayne Bloom and Mike Enos, who about a year or two later would show up in the WWF as the Beverly Brothers. I don't know if you guys remember those guys with Genius and all that. While Larry Cameron defeats Tommy Jammer and Steve O beats Ricky Rice as part of the undercard. So on this date 30 years ago, the AWA American Wrestling Association held its final event before shutting its doors. Her
Hmm.
next piece of see, so that's how it works there, May May. It's like they're just highlighting stuff from the past, basically.
Yes.
You know,
Nice.
in
Okay.
the different
Nice.
niche categories here of anime, comics, cartoons, manga, pro wrestling.
Ah,
So
Archie comics, man.
Archie.
yes, on this date, 15 years ago today, the 100th issue of Archie and Friends went on sale on this date 15 years ago today in 2006. It was $2.25, 32 pages. So on this date, 15 years ago today, the 100th issue of Archie and Friends went on sale on this date. And
That's nice.
yeah, yeah. And on this date, 10 years ago today in 2011, so pull this up here. On this date,
Oh my God.
the amazing World of Gumball and the Looney Tunes show premiered on Cartoon Network.
That was 10 years
Ah,
ago.
those were the
God.
good days. I remember when that came. I remember when they
That was
came
10
out.
years ago. The Looney Tunes show and the Amazing World of Gumball.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh my
And
God,
then
I'm old.
and then Punky was an animated series that was produced in Ireland. The significance of that, from what I read, was it was the first animated show to feature a Down syndrome character.
Oh.
Oh.
A character. Yeah, so, according to this, Punky is an Irish animated television series created by Lindsay J. Sedgwick and produced by Dublin-based Monster Animation and Design. The series features the lead character as having Down syndrome, with intention of being the first animated series to do so.
That's
Oh.
that's
I
pretty.
thought you said Iceland. I thought you said
No, it's
Iceland.
Ireland. Ireland.
I heard Iceland.
What year was this?
2011, 10 years ago.
Wow,
Never heard of it.
That's pretty progressive.
It's
though.
over in Ireland. That's why you never heard of it. I didn't even hear of it
Yeah.
either. In fact, when I first saw it, I thought it was a redo of the Punky Brewster cartoon from back in the 80s. When I first saw it, but that wasn't the case.
No, it was not. Unless she has Down syndrome.
I read that. The boss told me. Oh wait. Well, actually, you want to read this since this is you talking?
Oh, okay. The boss
I should have had
told
you
me
do this
as a
before,
security
but
guard. The boss told me as a security guard it was my job to watch The Office. I'm on season 6, but I'm not sure what this has to do with security.
Wow.
and then we go ha 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 ha.
That's a good one.
I didn't see either of those. Okay. All right. Well, guys, I think I'm going to wrap this up. I thank everybody for being here tonight. I just wish the numbers would reflect that as well, but YouTube can be a pain in the butt. Maybe if you wish, you can stick around and we can talk after I sign off here. After I basically cut off the live feed. And whatever I guess you guys want to do, it's fine. I don't know if Meme wants to share it all with everybody, but
We'll just chat.
Huh?
Yeah.
Is the stream off already? I got.
No, not yet.
I
I'm about
just
to do it
clicked off.
now.
Oh.
All right, we're still on. Okay. All right, everybody. For those of you who are still in chat, I thank you guys for being here, and I bid you good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.